Hey everybody, it's Christine Ernst, the Fat Ass Cancer Bitch, coming to you from the Cozy Writing Cottage here in Sandwich, Massachusetts. It is Saturday, January 11th, 2025. It is lightly snowing here in Cape Cod. It's quite lovely out there. I am leaving my Christmas lights up for a little while longer because they make me happy. I'm sending all love and courage out to California this week for those fires to get contained. I'm sending all love and courage to the country for the upcoming shit show that launches on the 20th. And in the words of Jimmy Carter, we must adjust to changing times and still hold to unchanging principles. So my Uncle Joe died on Thursday. Talking about unchanging principles, my Uncle Joe died. Joe Buckley, a good man, a great scholar, a huge life, so handsome, all cowlick and jaw and winning smile. He was my mother's next younger brother, 87. He was the one of the 7 siblings who left Boston. He died out in Kalamazoo, where he had a great life and he was surrounded by his large, loving family. His leaving was not unexpected, but so unexpected, kind of sudden. I sat in on Mama's Zoom call with her siblings in the afternoon on Thursday. There are 5 left now. Dan at 90 out in Swansea. My mother 89 up the street here from me. Jack 85 up in Hingham. Charlie 83 in Lakefield. And the baby Marnie 78 in Medfield. They are Zoom experts. Together, they made plans to travel to the funeral on Zoom or to live stream the mass. It's too hard for Jack or Dan to travel now. They cried a little and reminisced. They had a round of trivia about Joe's life, of course. It's what they do on every Zoom. Who was Joe's first crush? Judy Garland. Where did Joe go to kindergarten? Trick question, he went straight into first grade. They discussed the nicknames that their father had for each of them. Dan was Banjo Eyes. My mother was alternately Jolie Dolly or Miserable Peach or Sour Donut. If you know my mother, this all makes sense. Joe was Diddlelumpta for the sound he made when he rode his play pony. Jack and Charlie couldn't remember their nicknames. Jimmy, who died in 1972, was Lonesome Polecat, and Marnie was Candy Mouse. It was sort of beautiful. The siblings gathered, as it were, on Zoom, as they do every Monday anyways. Joe was there this past Monday. He was sitting up and dressed and talking. How could he have died on Thursday? But they really know how to be together, how to show up, how to let each other speak in turn. Now, they had to figure out Zoom because first COVID, and because Joe was so far away and they never saw him, and then because it's become harder and harder to get together as they age, and nobody wants to drive at night. So they meet every Monday afternoon at 4 on Zoom for 45 minutes because Uncle Charlie never signed up for the paid version of Zoom. But that's okay because 45 minutes is perfect. Just perfect. It's just the right length for a catch-up for the latest on the Sox or the Patriots or the Bruins. They're diehard Bostonians. Even Joe was out in Kalamazoo. 45 minutes is enough time for a round of trivia for the latest on grandchildren and the great-grandchildren, whose birthday just passed or whose is coming up. Uncle Jack usually has some jokes. There's some Trump bashing, of course, a health check-in. Not so much time that it's ever boring or anyone nods off, though this has been known to happen. And Mama recently got her brother Jack a special stand for his iPad so they weren't just talking to his forehead or his chin every Monday. It's quite something to see them all on Mama's laptop in those little squares. The clock ticking away in the upper right-hand corner, reminding them of how many minutes are left in the session, how they all together wind it up, how the energy shifts at the 2-minute mark. A quick go around for any last thoughts, then how they all awkwardly sign off. Bye, I love you, see you next week. Then the sweet delay as they squint to find the leave meeting button. There's something sustaining and buoying about them all as a group. The laughter, the sharedness, the ease. Their little kid selves are so clear in their old faces. I see those banjo eyes in Dan at 90. Before they signed off on Thursday, they joked about having Manhattans at dinner in Joe's honor. It was his favorite libation and sort of the Buckley go-to drink, actually, in my family. A Manhattan was all I knew to order at a bar when I came of age. 4 or 5, 6 ounces of hard booze and a sweet drink with a cherry? Yes, indeed. Grandma Charlotte was known to shake 2 packets of Sweet and Low into her Manhattans. She liked them very, very sweet. So the family's signature cocktail. Mama and the girls came down to our house for supper on Thursday night. Everyone except Julia had at least a sip of a very fine Manhattan that Michael mixed up. Okay, I had 2 sips, 3 sips. And we had hot dogs and beans, Mama's favorite comfort food. We toasted Joe and his long, lucky life. We said our grace. We love our bread. We love our butter. But most of all, we love each other. So Godspeed, Uncle Joe. Keep the faith, folks. I'm sort of glad that he did not live to see that man in office. Well, he saw the first time. I'm glad he didn't live to see it a second time. What a national tragedy. Oh, not to be a downer. Grey Rock, as I talked about last week. Go small. Stay in your village. Think about your childhood nickname. Did you have one? Mine was Tina, which I'm planning, or Marnie and Milena are planning, will be my grandmother name. That's years off still, but I can see myself pretty clearly as Grandma Tina. Ooh, Grandma Tina. Oh, that'll be a happy day when I get to talk about that. Something that will pull me through the next 4 years, right? Oh, go look at the snow, make yourself a cup of tea. Call your uncle if you have one, or your aunt. Tell them you love them. You are beloved. Come as you are. Here we go, folks. Be well. Have a good week. I'll see you next Saturday.